Hello and welcome to the Cognitive Edge. I am Dr. Daniel Sable, and I hope that um, you're, everybody enjoys the videos and is getting a little something from them. So today I want to talk about a process that can be exciting, confusing, stressful, and sometimes completely overwhelming for students and their families, and that is applying to college. For many students, the college admission process feels like a giant wall of deadlines. There's essays, financial forms, recommendation letters, and unfamiliar terminology. Some students have parents or family members who've been through the process before. Others may be the first person in their family to apply to college. Um, and that is why schools, teachers, counselors, librarians, and families must work together to make the process a little easier to understand and make it more manageable ultimately. The first thing that we need to recognize is that college planning should not begin during the final months of the senior year. Ideally, conversations about college careers, um, college in general, and future opportunities should begin much earlier. During ninth and 10th grades, students can begin thinking about their interests, their strength, and possibly career paths. They can learn about graduation requirements and understand how the course or courses that they take may affect their future choices when it comes to college. So, by junior year, students should begin really exploring colleges. I would look at technical schools, apprenticeships, certificate programs, community college, and other post secondary opportunities. They should attend college fairs, visit campuses when possible, speak with counselors, and begin developing a realistic list of options. It's also important that we stop treating a 4 year college as the only successful pathway. Community college, trade school, apprenticeships, military service, certificate programs, and direct entry into the workforce can also lead to meaningful and successful careers. So, our responsibility is to not push every student towards the same destination. Our responsibility is to help each student identify the pathways that fit their goals, their abilities, their finances, and their interests. Once students begin exploring colleges, we must teach them how to conduct meaningful research. And this is where all that research I have been talking about comes into play. Um, Too often, students choose colleges based on name or recognition or rankings or athletics or social media or where their friends are applying. These factors may influence the decision, but they should not be the only consideration. Students really should examine the academic programs that a college offers. Does the institution have the major or career preparation that your child or your student wants? Um, what are the graduation and retention rates? What type of internships, career services, and employment opportunities are available? Students should also consider the location, campus size, housing, transportation, student life, academic support, mental health services, and disability services. For students with individual education programs or accommodations in high school, this is especially important. College support systems are different from high school services. Students may need to advocate for themselves and provide appropriate documentation. They should understand what support a college offers before they enroll. Um, I think that that's, very, a very, very important thing to do. Um, Costs must also be part of the research process from the beginning. Students should not really wait until acceptance letters arrive before thinking about affordability. They should compare tuition, fees, housing, meals, books, and personal expenses. A college may advertise a large scholarship, but that scholarship does not automatically make the school affordable. Students and families need to look at the total cost after grants, scholarships, loans, and other aid are considered. A large scholarship from an extremely expensive college may still leave a family with more debt than a smaller scholarship from a more affordable institution. Um, yeah, students should really also create a balanced college list. This list should include colleges that where admission is likely, colleges where the student is a competitive applicant, and perhaps a few highly selective schools. However, every college on a list should be a place the student would actually be willing to attend. There's no value in applying to a so called safety school that the student dislikes or can't afford. Um, Another major part of this process is organization. Um, College applications, they involve many moving parts. Students may need to submit an application, transcripts, test scores, recommendation letters, essays, financial aid forms, scholarship applications, and supplemental documents. A simple application tracker can make a major difference. Um, Students should really record each college application's deadline, their essay requirements, recommendation status, financial aid forms, scholarship deadlines, and admission deadlines. Um, they should also create personal deadlines that are earlier than the official deadlines. Waiting until the final evening to submit an application is risky. Technology fails, websites crash, documents go missing, and stress takes over. Finishing early gives students time to review their work and correct mistakes. When helping students complete applications, adults must first find the right balance between support and independence. Um, we should guide students, explain unfamiliar terms, help them organize many of their ideas and what they're doing, review their work. And however, we should not complete the task or the application for them. The application should represent the student. This is especially true for the college essay. Um, a strong essay does not have to describe a dramatic event or extraordinary accomplishment. It should show how the student thinks, what the student values, and how the student has grown. Teachers, counselors, librarians, family members, they can help students brainstorm topics and revise drafts. However, the student choice must really remain at the center of the essay. An essay that sounds like it was written by a professional adult may be polished, but it may not feel authentic. And when admissions gets that feeling, I think that they begin to wonder. Um, Not sure. It's like a red flag pops up. The same principle applies to artificial intelligence. AI can help identify um, grammar problems. They can help students organize ideas, or they can ask revision questions. It should not replace the student's thinking or produce the final essay. The goal is not to create a perfect essay. The goal is to help the admission committee understand the person behind the application. Recommendation letters also require some planning. Students should ask teachers well in advance. They should not approach a teacher 2 days before a deadline and expect a meaningful letter. Um, Students can help recommenders by providing a resume, an activity list, or brag sheet. The information might include academic achievements, volunteer work, employment, leadership activities, personal challenges, career interests, and examples of growth. Financial aid may be the most intimidating part of the admission process, but it is one of the most important, unfortunately. And you'll see that it's really it's big. Um, so students and families really they need um, clear explanations of the FAFSA, FAFSA, grants, scholarships, work study programs, and student loans. They should understand that grants and scholarships generally do not need to be repaid, while loans must be repaid with interest. You should understand the difference between the advertised cost of attendance and the net price after financial aid. Schools can really support families by holding financial aid workshops, fast, FAFSA completion events, scholarship sessions, and individual meetings. Um, these events should be offered at different times and in multiple languages when necessary. Families should not be excluded simply because they cannot attend an afternoon meeting or do not fully understand the terminology being used. Special attention should really be given to first generation college students, multilingual families, students with disabilities, students in foster care, and students who may not have reliable access to technology. These students may need more than a website and a checklist. They may need someone to sit with them and sit beside them and explain each step and help them believe that they belong in the process. And this is something that's near and dear to my heart because I, you know, SPED is important. It's very important, and it's important that you help the kids and the families. So this is also where school librarians can also make a major contribution. Librarians can teach students how to research colleges, how to evaluate sources, locate legitimate scholarships, avoid scams, organize documents, and protect personal information. They can provide access to computers, databases, career resources, college guides, and quiet spaces for completing applications. The college admission process should not belong only to the counseling office. It should be a school-wide effort. Teachers can help students develop writing and communication skills. Counselors can guide applications and academic planning. Librarians can support research and information literacy. Special educators can help students understand accommodations and self advocacy. Families can provide encouragement and perspective. When these groups work together, students are far less likely to fail or to fall um, through the cracks. Um, we must also remember that acceptance is not the end of the process. That after students receive an admission decision, they may need help comparing financial aid packages or visiting campuses or requesting additional aid, completing housing forms, submitting deposits, registering for orientation, and sending final transcripts from your school, your high school. Students with disabilities may need help transferring documentation and contacting the appropriate campus offices. Some students may experience rejection, deferral, or waitlisting. They need support during these moments as well. It's hard to receive a rejection letter when you're 17, even though it's not a judgment of a student's intelligence, potential, or worth. College admission decisions are influenced by many factors, including space, institutional priorities, competition, and finances. But students should always remember that there's going to be there's going to be many more paths that open up, and it's going to provide you with a successful future. Ultimately, helping students with the college admission process is not about uh, completing paperwork or collecting acceptance letters. It's about teaching how to make informed decisions. It is about helping them evaluate opportunities, understand financial responsibilities, communicate their experience, advocate for themselves, and choose a pathway where they can grow. The goal is not simply to get students into college. The goal is to help them enter college or another post secondary pathway prepared, confident, informed, and ready to succeed. That is so important, is success. Um, and this is how we really truly support students during the college admission process. Thank you for joining me on the Cognitive Edge. Um, Again, the videos that we put out are for all different types of situations that come up in education. So today was about the financial aid process and the college admission process, which is not an easy one. And, hang in there if you are going to be traversing down this path. Things do get easier and they come along. All right. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. This is Dr. Disable. Bye.